Here we are with Let's Play Skies of Arcadia. I'm Nye, that's Trance, that's Base.
Hello.
Shut up.
You do not want to know what we were talking about before the break.
Boobies.
Anyways.
They are a lovely species of bird.
Especially the blue-footed ones.
Mm-hmm.
They need to make more shoes that color. So we
And
just
cock.
Ah, yes.
Are you talking
noble
about
chicken?
Oh yeah, we were talking about the cock-flavored rice. That one.
Ooh, an Evan Vanguard Archer.
Okay, so we gotta go all the way back to that hut and deliver the fat pervert.
Pizza the Hut. Oh.
That's actually what he looks like. I mean,
Oh,
with that tattoo on his
pizza's
head.
gonna send out for you.
Apparently, everybody on set hated that joke.
That was the best joke in the whole movie. Well, no, it wasn't.
Like,
But it's still a
no.
good joke.
No, the jam joke was like the best one, but
It was a dumb pun, but
yeah, it was
the
like
whole movie was brilliant.
apparently even I remember I was watching the director's commentary at some point, and even like Mel Brooks was saying that the joke was a mistake.
That's too bad, because that's a really funny scene.
The
You're
scene-
delicious.
No, the scene was. Oh, and that he hates that line. No, that's what it is. The Pizza Hut, the Pizza the Hut joke he liked, but the "You're delicious" line is the one he hated. That's it. Because he
It
felt
was a bit of a weird one, but it's a good scene. I liked it.
he just felt it was overdone. The scene did not need that.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like the whole eating part of the costume, and then "You're delicious." That just the entire thing just ruined the scene. It doesn't fit with the feel of the rest of it.
It's a silly film. What the hell more do you want?
Oh yeah, but leaving Pizza as a gangster and leaving that as the non-funny scene would have worked so much better to straight man the rest of it. You know, like the robot should have straight man the entire thing. He shouldn't have done any, like he shouldn't have been made this funny. It would have been funny if you were saying all of it with a straight
for
face.
Hitler and Germany. Deutschland is happy and
So
gay.
we're gonna get the location of the lost city of Rixis and go do yet another freaking dungeon.
No, out of all of Mel Brooks' films, I have to say the best one, as
Blazing
far as I'm
Saddles.
concerned, Dracula Dead and Loving It.
Ugh.
Blazing Saddles.
I like Leslie Nielsen, but that movie just wasn't good.
I liked it. Or Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yeah.
Men in Tights was good,
Men in
but
Tights
not
was
as good
good.
as Blazing Saddles.
Yeah, I love Blazing Saddles.
I never liked it, but I was never at all into anything Western other than Wild Arms.
Well, I love, you know, Gene Wilder, so
Gene Wilder is really funny.
yeah. Though I think the
don't
funniest
know who
bit,
that is.
Gene Wilder, Willy Wonka, the good Willy Wonka. I mean, Johnny Depp was good, but the good Willy Wonka.
Keep in mind, you're talking to someone who caught a brick with his face at a young age. Memory ain't my strong suit.
Anyway, you ever seen the original of The Producers?
Yes.
Leopold Bloom.
Look out,
Oh.
here comes the master race.
Like he's really good at straight-facing stuff. He's really good at being sarcastic. What am I talking to this guy for? I don't know this guy. Though I think one of the funniest things I read about, not read, but watched in the director's cut of Blazing Saddles, the guy who sang the opening theme song was like apparently famous for singing theme songs for westerns. He thought the film was going to be a serious film. They felt so bad about this because no one wanted to break the news to him. That's why he sings
Yeah.
it so well. That's why it's so well done, because he didn't understand what that was leading into.
It's just gonna be a parody.
It was a
I
really
watched
good
a
parody.
funny interview today with Kevin Smith about how he was hired to do the Superman script in like 1999 or whatever. And how he was like, "Really? Do you know what I've done? Do you know my work?"
Kevin Smith, that isn't he one of the
Clerks, Chasing
masterminds?
Amy.
Yeah.
Jay and Silent Bob. He was like, "You want me to do the script for it?" He's like, I'll do it, but
It couldn't
then
be
it's
worse.
like how he took like the producer out to the opening of Chasing Amy, like because he's like, they didn't want him to think. He wanted to see what kind of movies he does.
Like, it
Which
couldn't have been worse
one
than
of the
other
Jay and Silent Bob pairs he?
Silent Bob.
I'm a big fan of him. Yeah,
Aren't you?
I actually have his Smodcast set, like all of them downloaded. He's a funny man.
Yeah, he's hilarious. He does things just well.
He's alright. I don't like his movies. I like him a lot. I don't care much for Clerks or Jay and Silent Bob or
I
Chasing
can
Amy.
appreciate. I couldn't appreciate Clerks when I first watched it, but I was like 16 then. Now that I actually have a job in sales and crap, I can totally appreciate that movie. Completely. That was, yeah.
I just don't care much for pot humor. Was funny though. Was a pretty funny movie.
Clerks
I
didn't really
admire
have a lot of pot humor.
I admire the film and I admire the process and I admire the creativity. Just not a huge fan of the film. Just like whatever.
Okay, we gotta find Rixis. It should be right here. See, this wasn't here before. We were looking for it. This is Rixis. Or, well, it's a giant stone face, but...
Hold back the insurrectionists. Now there are two of them!
Okay, so... This is a puzzle, guys. It's not a very difficult puzzle. Oh, isn't there... Yeah, there's a cham right here. I knew there was a cham in this area.
We should not have made this bargain!
Now, remember that, and remember Jar Jar, and remember that now Disney owns Star Wars. Jar Jar's never going away.
Don't say such things, lest they become true.
Okay, so
Jar Jar was my favorite character.
I'm so sorry. When did they schedule the lobotomy for? No, Jar Jar was okay, just he got a little bit too much focus.
I got him to say it.
No, Jar Jar was okay. I actually like the prequel trilogy, so, you know. But, he's got too much focus. Okay, so we're taking an elevator up. We're going a long way up, too. Don't adjust your screens, guys. It is actually that misty.
Did you really just say that? Adjust your screens.
Well, in
Do
the...
not adjust your television set.
In the Pokemon LP, one of my titles is, did you just ask me a question?
Ow!
Bring out the video cassette recorder.
That's actually the latest one, Trance. Yes, I did.
Ow!
I got two different puns out of that, too.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think my soul is bleeding now. What? Ow! You just...
What,
you just scored a critical hit on my will to live.
Puns earlier.
Yeah,
and that one is the one that got to you?
No. Viewers, vote yes on this video if you think I should track Nye down and beat him/her/it upside the head with a tire iron for that pun.
Sweet! My videos are gonna get upvoted. Check it, the ghost just disappeared.
I've got a ghost for you in my pants.
Thank you, Deckard Sean Connery Kane.
Time.
The hell was that? Did we just lose Trance? No, he's here. I just heard this weird boom sound.
probably my microphone rebooting. Also, you had asked a couple of episodes ago what that doodad on Fina's forehead is, right?
I think it was like last episode of the episode before, and that was base.
Someone had asked it, and I don't know or care who. Anyway, I was thinking, she comes from the Sylvite area, right?
Yes.
But aren't they all supposed to be dead or something?
No. The Sylvite's the lost civilization. Before we continue, guys, notice these big craters, and especially notice them on the map. They've talked about the Rains of Destruction, but we've never actually seen what the Rains of Destruction have done. These craters are from the moonstones that fell.
Well, so it's this ancient, lost civilization, right?
Apparently.
Maybe there's... Now, this is just a maybe here. I don't know if it makes sense at all or not, but... if there's only a few of them left, which is likely, considering, you know, they're, oh my god, rare, maybe there's just, like, a real few left. So they're numbered. And that could just be, you know, she's 6 out of 10 or something.
Usually you number stuff when there's a lot of them and they're hard to count. You don't number them when there's like 3 of them and you go, wow, I need to make sure I know which one's which. Besides human beings, not computers, we have names.
Could be a cultural thing.
I love some of the names. These are not totems. It'd be fine to call them totems. That's what they are. They are totem poles. That would be a brilliant name, and it's a really cool character or enemy design. But they're called totems.
And that's why you make sure your translation guy isn't drunk.
I mean, it doesn't hold a candle to the awesomeness that is Totema, but...
We've finished them off.
I still don't know why they're called Totema in Final Fantasy Tactics. As opposed to Espers or whatever else they have called them in the past.
Fuck. Espers, Eidolons, summoned monsters, mist creatures. I think there's some more.
Yeah, like there's just dozens of names. Why invent a new one?
To sound cool. If you think about it, there's no need to summon, like, to come up with names or to even do anything like that. If you think about it, all summoned monsters are is a background to either a damage, heal, or status effect.
Well... I don't know. I mean, depending on game. Some of them you get to summon mount. And it's not damage or heal or status effect. It's something you sit on.
Yes, but that's not the case always, now is it? Sometimes they are, just a background.
And sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. Why do we care?
Because you touch yourself at night, constantly, and we can hear it.
I'm sorry that I toss and turn and my legs rub together? I don't know.
It's not your legs. Legs don't go schlick schlick ver. Alternatively, if it is your legs, seek medical help. Seek medical help with great haste.
Anyways. So, the Lost City of Rixis is not a particularly long or annoying dungeon. It is certainly not as bad as Moonstone Mountain by any means.
It's actually quite quick.
It is. There is a very small amount of backtracking. The worst part about Rixis is the encounter rate, really. There's a lot of encounters, and one of the very very strong, big and strong enemies starts spawning here. They are the sloths, and I really don't want to deal with them.
Oh yeah, they're not too bad.
If you know to focus them the hell down early, they're not too bad. But they just have some really strong attacks, I just don't feel like dealing with that. Rixis is also one of the first times we ever actually see old world technology really working. Like, we're in the Temple of Pyram, but we didn't really see anything in there. We've seen... I knew there was a chest over here. We've seen a Gigas, but that's about... Like, we saw a Gigas, and we kind of... It shot at us a few times, we ran away. Now we actually see they've got floating... they've got these floating elevators, and they've got reindeer with really small heads, and, you know...
Looks like Santa's been doing genetic engineering.
Nothing wrong with eugenics. It is the future.
Like, seriously, they're even green and red. This should be... Like, I should come back here for a Christmas episode at some point and just sort of sit here and we'll sing songs around these things.
You know, the interesting thing about reindeer, normally, when they emit sound, it's a kind of bleating. But when these things emit sound, it is a distinct kill me, I should not be type sound. Which is strange, considering they shouldn't understand English.
Well, the good thing is, they'll be doing another kind of bleeding, and we'll be all good.
Bleat, not bleed.
And? Say I'm fast enough, and no one can tell the difference. And Aka just learned Sacrum. Didn't I want... Sacrum's the one I wanted, right?
Incremus.
Yes, Sacrum is the one I wanted.
Oh, I thought you wanted the...
Oh, I wanted the heal 1000 to all members thing, because Incremus is the final spell in the red line, and I forgot that, which means it takes a lot of experience to get there. And if I'm going to have to dedicate a lot of time to experience, I'd like to actually get some of the other important spells going. Okay, so here's the sloth. That big green thing right there. It's like, they're like demi-bosses in terms of HP. They just have tons and tons of HP. And they have a big AoE attack called Tremors, I think, which is just a pain in the ass, just deals too much damage.
Tiki 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 tiki.
But, yeah. I want Incremus, and I will get it. Like, it's on my list. The thing is, we're spending so much MP just healing everybody, or so many items just to keep MP come back. Here's Quake as the move name. Yeah, we're spending a lot of MP just healing people. Sacrum gives us efficiency. 2 Sacrums will generally heal the entire party, so that's 2 MP as opposed to 8. I could live with that. And eventually, boss battles are actually going to start coming down to efficiency with stuff like that. So we kind of want to get this stuff out of the way early. Okay. As you can see, this guy has just tons of health. This is why I don't like facing them, because they got a lot of damage and they got a lot of health.
It's basically a giant sack of hit points.
It's more than that. It's a punching bag with all that entails.
It can kill you pretty quickly.
Yeah. If you notice, Fina is almost about to go down, and she's confused too, which is kind of a problem for me. The problem is, these guys are not demi-bosses. They're random encounters. I will be facing more than one of these things.
They're not cool enough to even be considered demi-bosses.
No, but they are strong, and, yeah. They will wreck your stuff. I think they don't even give that much experience or that much magic experience. But now Aka can heal the entire party, and all is well. I've already been this direction. Yeah, okay. I don't need to be down here. Rixis has a couple of these trick staircases, and I can't remember where all of them are. Oh, that wasn't a trick one. Right. This is one of the real ones. Luckily, we're starting to get to the point where we're going to just have tons and tons of spirit points in any given turn, which means we can actually start just doing stuff. So as you can see...
Battle start, Cutlass Fury, move along.
Not Cutlass Fury. At this point in the game, Cutlass Fury is actually kind of weak.
The Cutlass Fury stays worthwhile because it becomes cheap enough to use every turn.
Yeah.
Right.
But it is overshadowed by later moves at this point.
Yeah. Like
Cutlass Wrath!
Yeah. Pirate's Wrath. And,
Yeah, whatever.
We're not going to get
Shut
that
up,
for a
nerd.
while.
I didn't know you already had that unlocked.
Nope.
I don't think he does have Pirate's Wrath unlocked.
No, I do not. It is still...
Well, then that's why you fucking lead off with Cutlass Fury, now isn't
The
it?
thing is, if I lead off Cutlass Fury, I can do a Cutlass Fury every turn, and kill one dude every turn. Or, I can wait one turn, and Rain of Swords the next turn, and kill everyone.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking about leading off into Rain of Swords.
Nope, you don't get to lead off into Rain of Swords for a long time.
Yeah, that's quite some time away, unfortunately. Got the stone
But when
card.
it happens...
When it happens, it's not as valuable, because then everything starts being super difficult to kill.
Yeah. By the
There's
time...
never a point in the game where, like, Rain of Swords will reliably one-shot everything in the screen every time, unless you're super power level.
And we're not going to be doing that.
Well, it'll be handy for going through old areas.
Mm-hmm.
Which you never really do, honestly.
Well...
Because
Yeah.
you're 100%ing it right off the bat.
Yeah, he's getting everything on his first shot.
Well, it's partly that, and it's also partly that the game never, ever gives you a reason to go back to an area you've already completed. Unless you're getting discoveries, in which case the only thing you're likely to deal with is just a random encounter every so often.
Discoveries or chams or...
Well, I mean, yeah, chams, sure, but most...
Actually, I don't think there are no chams in enemy areas, are there? Oh, yes, there are. Yes, there are. I remember now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, we just picked one up just for the Rixis elevator. There's another cham coming up. There's a Moonfish coming up. No, chams, yeah, but most of the chams, not all of them, but most of the chams are not off the beaten path. They're exactly where you're about to head. You may have to go to the left or to the right a little bit, but they're usually in the path towards the end of whatever area you're going to.
Fair enough.
The only things out of the way are, like, huge... I don't think there are any secret dungeons in this game that I can recall. But
There are
a
no
lot of
secret
bosses.
dungeons. There are 5 secret bosses, one of which, unless you backtrack, you will actually never find. Which is a shame, because he's one of the best secret bosses to fight.
Did you ever go kill the first bounty? Did you do that while I wasn't watching at one point?
I have not gone to fight that bounty yet.
Or I guess I should say the second bounty.
Yeah, I was actually going to go fight him after Rixis. I was thinking about fighting him after Moonstone Mountain, but he's kind of a pain in the ass. And I wanted
Kind of a pain in the ass to get back there anyway, through the South Ocean.
Yeah, I'm gonna off-screen the South Ocean, which is why I wanted to do it after this. And the other reason is I don't need his item until after Rixis. Because the Rixis boss fight is kind of, weak. And, guys, honestly, don't leave the second bounty as long as I have. The item he drops will last you for years. Like, you will put it on Vice and you will not take it off until... long.
Hey, he's not difficult. He's not a difficult thing to fight. He's
You need to be prepared, though.
he's gimmicky in a series, but you can learn him. You won't learn him by being one-shot to death. You can learn him and beat him in the same game.
Yeah, but
Same
you
fight
got to be
if you're
kind of
good
prepared for it, and I haven't been.
Sucker.
Like now that I have Sacrum, and I will by the end of this dungeon probably have Rissalim on a second character, and probably have Sacrum on a second character. Ideally, you'd have Incremus, but it's not exactly required. I have all of Fina's abilities, which means that I'm just amazing.
You have all of them?
Yeah, I have unlocked all of all of Fina's abilities.
You have her super crazy one?
Yes. I have everything.
Nice. Nice. That's worth picking up early.
Yep.
What does that one do?
Mass revive, mass heal to full.
Nice.
It's basically a reset button. And there are, if you have, like, 2 people down, it's actually more worth it to save up for Fina's ability if you can, than it is to revive them both.
Just let the third one die, then revive the lot for the hit points.
More or less. The other thing, and here's Incremus. This is what I want this ability. There's several reasons, but like for instance, if she's up and Aka's up, then Aka can just Delta Shield all day long, and Fina will just get everybody back up.
Delta Shield being...
we're immune to your spells.
All spells.
That's
You're
the
immune to
one.
everybody's
Yeah,
spells.
that's the other thing. You're immune to everybody's spells, which means you can't wrestle them up. You gotta, well, yeah, you can, because dead characters aren't affected.
That's the spell that I remember reading about that is basically mandatory for half the game.
Not mandatory, but it makes life simple. Like, Delta
Mandatory
Shield is...
as in...
There are some boss fights, some of the harder boss fights, some of the harder bounties, I should say. It is pretty much mandatory.
But, like,
There's only one
Delta Shield
boss
is-
fight that's required, though.
I'm trying to remember the trope, but, like, Delta Shield is the Disc 1 game breaker. It really is.
Well, yeah, it says, oh, hey, you were gonna instant death my entire party? Too bad.
You're gonna see worse than that, actually. When we do the third bout, I can't remember if they're the third or
For the
fourth
fights
bounty.
where Delta Shield is required, the magic isn't what your big concern is.
Yeah, you're not worried about insta-death, because that's actually not going to happen. What you're worried about is Area of Effect Drill Nose, which means that all of us have, like, only 3/4 damage, 3/4 defense. Area of Effect
Specifically, what you're also worried about is a great deal of bosses have special attacks, kind of like your character. So, for example, if a character has counter Pirate's Wrath on him, or not Pirate's Wrath, what's the counter one?
Counterattack?
Pirates of Old,
Counterstance?
defend.
I can't. For defend our cause. I cannot remember the name of that because I never use it.
I forget what it's called. But anyway, there's one like that, and it counterattacks anytime any of your teammates get attacked, but it won't protect against some of these enemy special abilities. So, for example, like, basically think of it, enemies have Moonberry abilities, and they cannot be defended against whatsoever. Even if you're using that one, the counter one, if you're using Delta Shield, if you're using Justice Aura, if you're using, like, any of those, it won't defend against them. So those are the things you become worried about. By the time you're using Delta Shield every turn, you begin to worry about special attacks just as much. There's especially one jerkbag who puts a frickin' grab bag of status effects on your entire party.
So here is the next Zivlin Bane. By this point, we don't care about him anymore. He's worthless. But every dungeon has a Zivlin Bane. All of them. Like, all the actual, like, major dungeons. Moonstone Mountain does not count as a major dungeon. See, he's not even doing much to Fina at this point, so you can see why I'm not particularly worried about Zivlin Bane.
He's getting this shit optimally, though. Like, I mean, if you have Delta Shield and all of Fina's abilities this early, then, I mean, he kind of is trivializing the entire game. There's really... he has no excuse for losing the fight.
Like, I'm not really trying, though. I'm not power leveling, I'm not... That's the thing, I'm not trying to trivialize the game. It's just
You
happening.
don't need to power level if you make yourself so effective by early exploitation and knowledge of paths and whatnottery that you don't need to power level. Well,
Actually, that's funny because that is making the game trivial because some of the hard boss fights scale with you. So if you avoid grinding, but you still up your stats by using, for example, seeds by the time you can purchase them, you'll end up making the game significantly easier for yourself in that way. You make the game harder for yourself, theoretically, by leveling up constantly.
Technically, yeah.
So what we're saying is Nye is a cheap ass bag.
No, I'm not. Like, that's the thing. I'm not. It just, I happen to know where everything is, so I don't need to run around and grind for a while.
Yeah, you happen to know where everything is, the optimal path to get everything you need and completely dominate the game and make it your bitch.
In other words, I'm let's playing this game. I'm glad that we have so succinctly stated what
You're
I am
not let's
doing.
playing it. Let's playing is wandering around blindly for hours while your viewers mock at you. You're bending this game over and, well, you're telling it you're going to make it squeal like a pig.
Nah, it's not doing that yet.
No, I haven't begun to do that yet.
Exactly.
There are accessories that do that later.
Oh no, it's gonna get worse. Like, for instance, when I will spend 2 episodes, hopefully, Jesus Christ. I will spend 2 episodes getting every discovery in the game in an hour, if I'm lucky with certain ones that have a very stupid pathing. I will spend 1 episode, maybe 2, completing the entire ship manifest. Like, that's when I'm really going to make this game my bitch, because I know where everything is. But
discoveries are just money, but filling out your roster is a good idea.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's
filling out your crew roster.
The fact that I'm getting
thing becomes relevant.
The fact that I'm getting every cham on the way means that Fina is always relevant. Well, as relevant as Fina can be. The fact that I'm getting every Moonfish along the way means that I always have the really nifty bullshit. But again, it's not trivializing the game. There are still bosses that I'm going to have to deal with. There are still ship-to-ship battles that are going to be a pain in the ass.
That's funny, because ship battles...
There's a couple of them.
There are some hard ones, but when you get to a certain point of the game, ship battles stop being the, Yeah. It's the people fights you worry about.
Yeah, like, I'm not gonna worry about the ship battles. They're not amazingly difficult. They're fun. I look forward to the ship-to-ship battles.
Actually, no, there is one that's a pain in the ass, but I can't remember what it is.
Are you talking about the final one?
No, that one's not.
Final one?
That one's long, but I don't think it's strictly difficult.
There's a horrible joke in there somewhere.
Yeah, we're not going there. Okay, so there's a Moonfish up here, which is very, very easy to miss. We'll be seeing it soon.
I should mute myself sometimes. Whew. Just yawning in everybody's ears. Who cares? Can't you see that your entertainment isn't as important as the joy in my heart?
Yeah, well, about that.
That's not joy. That's just gas.
Well, I was gonna say that's heartworms, but you know, that's
In my heart? Gas in my heart?
Yeah, you should probably see a doctor about it.
Because the
Serious
bends
medical
kill
condition.
people quick.
There's
Wow, there's
oxygen in my heart, and probably a teeny bit of argon.
The bends is nitrogen. You don't want that. That's bad. That's a painful death.
You seen that knife that injects liquid nitrogen into whatever you stab? Like, you stab it and it's got a hypodermic... It's not hypodermic, I mean it's a knife, obviously it's hypodermic.
The knife has
but I mean it's got like
tube in it.
it's got like a tube in it for air, and it's got a nitrogen cartridge inside the handle, and if you stab a target and then press a button on the hilt, it injects a basketball-sized puff of liquid well, I don't know if it's liquid nitrogen.
It's not liquid,
Puff of
it's
nitrogen
just
into
normal
the
nitro, but while it expands, it freezes, because that's how physics work.
It snap freezes. It's crazy
Yeah.
cool. It's a knife advertised for divers. It's called the Wasp.
Divers. Right.
It's designed to fuck up sharks and whatnot, but
Divers. Right.
it'll kill the shit out of whatever you poke it into, like most knives.
Why don't you just take chainmail and punch them in the nose like all the real divers do?
I saw
Because-
Mythbusters. That doesn't work.
It actually does.
It doesn't. I saw Mythbusters. Watch Mythbusters. Shark Week.
I've seen that episode.
Some sharks may do it,
Shark Week.
but a lot of sharks will just say, "Oh, you're attacking me. I'll attack back and bite your fucking arm off."
They'll just call you mean.
Usually you're not going to be outside of the cage when you're playing with those sharks.
This is assuming optimal conditions.
And you know the really funny thing? In that Mythbusters episode, it did work. Multiple times, actually.
But the point is that it's not a guaranteed thing, and
No,
if
it's not
you're in the water with a shark who's attacking you, and your strategy is to punch it in the nose, I mean, what? Are you just...
Unless you're Mike fucking Tyson. Admittedly, seeing Mike Tyson punch out a shark would be kind of awesome.
Just kind of.
Disagree. That'd be boring. I wouldn't watch that. Watching some old dude fight shark slow-mo in the water. Because it's underwater, he'd have to fight slow-mo.
Ah. Well, it would be less watching Mike Tyson fight sharks and more watching sharks eat Mike Tyson, which... Anyway.
There it is. Okay, so here's the Moonfish.
Hooray!
It's really easy to miss because the only time you come to this particular spot is when you are backtracking. And most
Okay.
people are not going to backtrack.
Nye?
I hate this place.
Yep.
Is it just me, or is there a Steam symbol right in the middle of your screen?
Nope, I see it. It's probably not in the recording, I'll bet. It's probably not in Frat.
Yeah,
It's open.
I didn't see it. I am seeing a disturbing frame rate down, which is kind of upsetting me.
Sounds like a Final Fantasy item. Disturbing frame rate down.
No, it sounds more like a,
Disgaea item, perhaps?
yes, actually, but that's not what I was thinking of. What is that game? Binding of Isaac.
Binding of Isaac. It was funny because I was watching Mog play that game, and I mentioned I was watching him fight the boss. That's like you hear. It's like you're fighting his mom or whatever. It's like he's trying to smash you in the box or whatever, and like stomp on you and stuff like that.
Oh,
And I
not
let
smash
him
you in the
casually-
box. That's the first mom fight, and she's actually trying to knock you out so she can drag you out of the box and stab you.
Okay, whatever. Anyway, so you're fighting her like that, and I noticed the visuals, and I said, whoever created this game clearly has issues. And Mog said, I don't necessarily think so. It's probably just a creative mind. And I was like, maybe. But then we looked him up, the creator. What's his name? Edwin McMillan. Yeah, Edward McMillan. We looked him up, and his Wikipedia entry says that he was in the 3rd grade, committed to psychiatric evaluation because of how messed up his drawings were.
Yeah.
guy's
He's the artist behind Super Meat Boy
Yeah.
and a lot of other things. He's a genius. That's for fucking sure.
I told you that the DeLoco drill would not last long. We just replaced it.
Oh.
And this is actually the sad part about that, actually, is this is the last equipment for Drachma
Oh.
that I can
so
recall off the
he's-
top of my head.
So he's leaving again?
What, you didn't see that coming? You thought his leaving days were over?
No.
Well, he's not. I mean, I don't want to spoil it, but you guys are talking about it. You guys got to quit doing that. I mean, he's.
was notable.
Let's just not deceive the viewers now. Come now.
So that is the Ruin arm. It's all types of high-tech looking. And there's no deceiving the viewers. When you have a running joke, it doesn't just stop.
Drachma has left the party.
In the middle of the battle? What the hell are you doing, Drachma?
Drachma has returned with beer.
For himself. He won't buy it for you damn kids.
Of course.
Vice. Old enough to break into the into an Imperial stronghold. Not old enough to drink. Just fighting our way through this battle. We are almost done with the dungeon, guys. This dungeon doesn't take long. And actually, when you know the trick to the next section, it goes even quicker.
Serves 'em right.
Now the question is, am I going to remember the trick to this next section? Can't remember if I actually need to go over to this. Do I need to go over here? Is there something over here? I think there's a chest over here. Is that a... Yep, chest. Ooh, isn't that the speed seed? I think that's the speed seed. That is the... Oh, will seed. Fine. That's fine, I don't care. Okay. So there's a trick to this section right here. But let's watch the cutscene first. Cutscene's important. So if you chase after this guy, he will run away. Now the trick is...
That's what a...
Go ahead.
I was gonna say that's what a harpoon is for.
Well, the trick is this guy will run away no matter what you do. He will always run away from you. The trick is you need to him to go in a certain direction. All you need to do is you come down here and you go in this direction and boom, it's done. That's it.
It's an easier puzzle with the minimap on, but you don't have on like a silly...
Oh, I turned that off, yeah. Wow. Yeah, he'll run around in a circle over and over and over until you trick him into going in this direction, and then he will, and then it's done. But if you don't know about that little trick, you can spend quite a lot of time chasing him around in a circle. Yeah, I kind of forgot I turned that off. I was wondering where that went. I thought they turned it off this little event.
Nope.
That would be mean. So we're gonna follow his ass up. I think we're treated to a cutscene in just a second. Was this not the cutscene moment? Okay, never mind. So guys, notice how high we are. Those are the clouds down there. For people like me, who used to go up Pikes Peak every once in a while, that's not really a big deal, but, you know.
I saw that movie. It was a good movie.
I climbed that mountain. It's a good mountain.
It's a movie.
Okay, so, up the stairs. Anybody got a slinky?
It's the movie that
I need a slinky.
Harry and Dumbledore went up to throw away the one ring.
Anybody got a slinky? Anybody? No slinky? So here's the boss fight that everybody knew was coming.
Bomberman, Bomberman.
So this gigantic chicken is the boss fight, guys.
He's pretty tough too, actually. Now that I look at that one, I suddenly remember the fight, and he's not a super easy fight usually.
Yeah, he's not easy, but if you again, this is one of those, if you know what you're doing, if you remember your strategy, you know, it's another one of those. This is not an incredibly hard fight. If I remember correctly, his big deal is he has a confusion move.
He do.
You're fighting a giant rainbow
Snuffleupagus,
chicken.
yeah.
Ostrich thingy. Yeah.
We don't even know what this is. There's the confusion ability.
This is why
Yep,
you
it
make
works.
sure that when you dump your moonstones, you do so in a safe manner, where they cannot contaminate the local water supply.
These guys have been breeding up here for years.
Yeah.
Illegal moonstone dumping ground.
You know what? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this the safe and intelligent way.
Legal moonstone dumping ground. Doo-da, doo-da. Anyway.
So I could just let Aka start attacking us and hope she attacks the bird instead. But I'm just gonna use this right here. That's actually a waste of... I should have just done... Yeah, that's kind of a waste of spear points. I could have just done the Curia spell for 3 spear points. Oh well. Honestly, I probably could have Pirate's Wrath by this point in the game, and if I did, this fight would be a lot easier. But I chose to let Fina power up instead. Let's do that. So, at about this point in the game, you really just want the girls to be buffing, and then all other turns, you want them focusing. This will become even more so when Vice actually has Pirate's Wrath.
Yep,
But,
this is your new strategy forever.
yeah, this is the entire rest of the game, guys. So get used to hearing that sound. Yep. Like, you'll be hearing those sounds a lot. It's kind of unfortunate. I wonder if I can land a drill on this boss. Now, ideally, I'd have Incremus, which I think costs 16, I want to say. Is expensive. Or maybe it's 12. Can't remember. Incremus is expensive, but it means less healing overall, and it means more damage output, so it ends up being worth it. So you'll end up just Incremusing right off the bat. Eh, we'll just keep on attacking. Yep, not a hard boss fight. And that trance is why I wanted Sacrum. Because
Well, it's a good thing you got it.
yeah, the damage being dealt is trivial, but I can heal for 1,000 every turn. Oh, hey, look, it's a sleep effect. Specifically on Drachma, too. Wow. Because he's the one who's going to be doing a lot of damage for the rest of the fight.
Sleep is always such an interesting status effect. Specifically, some games have it where if the character gets hit, they wake up. Which makes sense. You know, ow, I've been hit, what am I doing asleep? But, on the other hand, if that can wake them up, surely the Clash of Battles should wake them up instead. Because it's loud, they're shouting, people are dying, he's obviously getting covered in blood. So, you know, you'd think that would wake him up. Then there's the other side of the token, where it's a strictly magical effect forcing them into a coma. In which case, why is it not just instant death? Sure, it's relievable, but so is a death effect. And if they're just comatose, they might as well be dead, which is why the sleep spell is so overpowered in Dungeons & Dragons. Because it says these 4 hit dice of creatures are out of combat. It's interesting,
well, hey, look, Drachma
and
just got woken up.
I don't know how to do the middle ground. What would you do for such?
Well, my major, yeah, see, Vice is now dealing 1,000 damage per Cutlass Fury. Not Pirate's Wrath. Cutlass Fury.
1,000 damage a strike ain't nothing to fucking sneeze at.
Oh, no, not at all. Especially when there's going to be more later on. My experience with Sleep is all with Final Fantasy XI, where it was either the you get hit and you immediately wake up effect, and it just pulled you out of rounds every so often, and you would actually use this to your advantage, because if you took any damage, you woke up. So in some cases, you would use poison pots to poison yourself, and the light damage per turn would keep you awake. And then there was the flip side of this, which was a fight with the Avatar and Summon Diabolos, who had a sleep effect that specifically could not be woken up that way, which would just wreck your face because then he dropped dots on you. This cutscene is kind of important, guys, because this is where Aka insults the hell out of Fina by saying, "Look, you look like that freak."
Best music in a game ever goes to Lost Odyssey.
Lost Odyssey had very good music, but
I love me some Katamari music, so...
It's not music.
That is music.
That's 8-year-olds being given reign of a music room.
You've never listened to Katamari's soundtrack, have you? Like any of them?
Yes, I have.
They're all J-pop and J-rock, all of them. They actually found bands to go play for them.
Yep.
Katamari is a very surreal series.
I will do a
It's
Katamari
Japanese,
Let's Play
dude.
eventually just
It's
for
a
the hell of it.
Japanese game. Full stop.
Yeah.
So guys, even after the Rain's Destruction fell and just ruined crap, Grendel, the Green Gigas, was still wreaking havoc, and the Sylvites themselves had to come down and put a stop to him. That's saying something.
It's either saying that the Rains of Destruction are kinda shit and not that accurate,
Which that's completely true.
or it could just be that the green one has the defenses of something absolutely absurd.
It actually means neither. You'll see.
Never mind, I changed my vote to Shadow of the Colossus.
Still not the best, but an excellent game all the same. One of the best games released on the PS2.
Who's ready to see Vice be a badass as usual? Here goes Drachma, missing his shot. And here goes Vice being a badass. Just sliding down them steps.
Did Vice just freaking grind a handrail with his feet?
Yes, that is
No,
exactly...
with his heelys.
Yeah, with his heels. That's how he just ground down that stone handrail.
No, not just heels. I said heelys. Heelys. Come on, heelys? Nobody?
I hate those things.
Well, Vice is wearing them.
I'm not. He's too cool for that. He just has a grind plate on the bottom of his shoes. Go play Sonic Adventure sometime.
I've played Sonic Adventures.
That's what he
I
has.
never liked the Sonic games.
Sonic Adventures was pretty fun. I liked it. I liked Adventures and Adventure 2 Battle.
Mm-hmm.
I had the
just never
soundtrack
could-
to Adventure 2 Battle.
I just couldn't get into Sonic, like, the characters. They just never really grabbed me.
Set me free. Trust me, and we will escape from the city.
So yeah, the king and Asapa actually knew where the stone was the entire freaking time. The entire freaking time.
I never liked Sonic as a character either, really. I liked Tails.
Those of you really good at putting 2 and 2 together will gather that there's a cutscene on the way. Another one.
There's a cutscene right now.
There's another one.
Well, yeah, it's a cutscene. They tend to come in packs. It's kind of interesting, really.
Here's the other one.
The species of cutscene, they're notable for dwelling in video games, of course. Now, RPGs especially tend to be havens for them. The most recent cutscene nests, however, were not exclusively in RPGs. In fact, what is theorized to be the greatest hive of cutscene in the wild ever known was a game called Metal Gear
Xenosaga?
Solid 4.
No, I think Xenosaga was a bigger hive. And they never quite flushed that one out either.
No, Xenosaga was a breeding ground, sure. But Metal Gear
Especially
Solid was a hive, and 4 actually had a full-blown queen in it. Fortunately, they were able to apply the right gas, and it should clear out in time.
So guys, I want you to know how good we are at saving the world and stopping the Gigas. This is the second one we have failed to stop from being summoned. That's 2. I am 0 for 2 right now.
Yeah, this is some Super Mario level failure. I mean, how many fucking times has Princess Peach been kidnapped? He is shit at his job.
It's not kidnapping.
By the way, guys, remember, I am above the clouds. I want to state that for a second.
Mario, Bowser, Princess...
Also, there's Alfonso's ship. It has his hair.
All of them are friends, and that is one hideous vessel.
Whose vessel? Alfonso's? I was killing some branded
Alfonso's.
devourers.
It's so...
I don't ever want to hear you speak of those hideous minds again, understand? Yep. Alfonso.
Seriously, that's just...
That's
an ugly ship.
At least he leads into battle. Like, he's at the head of battle, which is... I gotta give him props for that. Some people would lead from behind.
And the moment it starts to turn, he'll lead walking right back from his ship to the life pods, chuck a lieutenant overboard.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce Grendel.
That looks vaguely unsettling.
Oh, it gets better. Wait until you see what Grendel does. He gets pissed.
Dispose of them.
This is Grendel. Punch. He just bitch slapped that thing out of the sky.
He didn't bitch slap it. He fucking punched it in the face.
The bitch slaps come later.
Keeping that pimp hand strong.
And Alfonso's already retreating. Notice this guy's listed as the new vice captain. And that's him running away. Now remember, I'm above the clouds. I'm above them. So is he. His knees are above the clouds.
You know what they say, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. So what you need to do is use that harpoon cannon, go after his legs, tie him up, and he should just fall right over.
That's the problem. 1, the harpoon cannon's tow cable does not bend. 2, going after his legs just means you get hit more. And 3, we're out of time on this episode. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Later, folks.
Bye.